Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got a first drive opportunity on the refreshed 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander. The Outlander is Mitsubishi's best-selling vehicle, and they've been increasing in sales every year since it came out with this new version for the 2022 model year. So Mitsubishi was trying to think, okay, how do we stand out in this ever-increasing condensed sea of midsize and compact crossovers on the new car market here in North America? So what they've done, they've slightly tweaked the styling, they've added some new standard features to the base ES model, they've retuned the way it steers and the way it rides, and most importantly, especially for me, they've added a state-of-the-art Yamaha sound system into this car. So on the base models, you get an 8-speaker Yamaha tuned sound system, and for the upper level models here, the SE with technology package, and then the SEL and the SEL Premium, get the 12-speaker Yamaha Ultimate sound system. So that's a number of speakers in here, all tuned and supplied by Yamaha. We've got a dedicated sound system review on this car, so if you want to see more on it, check the link below. But I gotta tell you, it's pretty darn cool. I haven't given it the full evaluation yet, but I'm excited to give it more testing. And Mitsubishi decided, okay, that's going to be how we stand out. We're trying to make ourselves look like and provide a more premium product for people in this class. And that is what we're getting. So this one you're looking at, SEL Premium model, coming in at $46,000 as you're looking at it. But if you eliminated a little bit of the appearance and launch packages, then you'd be a little bit under $45,000. We'll try to get out of the sunlight a little bit here, but you can see some of the styling tweaks. Haven't had a chance to drive it too much yet, so throughout today we're going to drive it on a varying types of roads, and I'll try to kind of report on how it drives. Nothing has changed with the powertrain. You're still looking at a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder and a CVT transmission, continually variable transmission. There is a plug-in hybrid model as well that a lot of people like. That is coming for a refresh later on this year, so this one's more just going to be this model. And for those of you who don't know, this car does share early development with the Nissan Rogue. However, this one gets the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder as opposed to the Turbo 3 that the Rogue gets. And the all-wheel drive system, the interior and the exterior and the tuning are all unique to the Mitsubishi. Let's poke around it a little bit more before we get on the road. Opening up the lift gate, we see a fairly low load surface and a little bit of storage under there. We have a third row of seating, although this thing does seem to be interfering with it a little bit, so I don't know if we're going to be able to get into that here today. We do have the ability to fold down these seats, however, my backpack is in the way. These first drive events can get a little bit squirrely in terms of what we're able to do and our timing with everything. Okay, that actually is allowing us to get into the third row that we won't be doing. Can I fold this down? There we go, so we can see with the second row of seats folded, you get a fairly flat load surface. Bring this back up. Getting into the back, you get a door that opens fairly wide if you're getting rear-facing car seats into here. Coming on in. Seeing some fun materials, almost like a fake carbon fiber-y look there. Nice window switch. Do have sun shades for children back here. It's nice to see. Good bit of recline that you can customize for this seat. Flip down armrest. Oh, you actually have to fold the whole little seat down like that. Okay, so we got kind of a 20-40-20 split fold. Rear air vents, rear heated seats, and rear climate adjustment. Oh, and they got the cell phone pocket. That's kind of nifty on both sides, so you can do that. That's nice if you got adults riding back here, because they got 3 different places to put things. A little sunglasses holder, snacks. Got water bottle holder in the door. Yeah. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. And this is actually semi-aniline leather, so it feels nice. Something that you don't often get in this class. A very quality leather feel and smell to it as well. Then getting into the front, we have a pretty straightforward interior. A lot of piano black right here. I don't think that's going to age very well, so a bit disappointing to see that. Fairly straightforward center console. I'd also like to just see this space be better utilized if we compare to some competition like the Hyundai Santa Fe or like the Tesla Model Y. A lot of space right here that's just being taken up by, what, a shifter and a drive mode selector and a parking brake. Move this over here, move this up here somewhere, and then move this up here. And then all of a sudden you've got a huge amount of storage space. They did say that they redesigned the cup holders and the wireless device charger. I don't think it has active cooling though, so yeah. All right, fair enough. Moving the car around a little bit here, you can see we've got this 12.3-inch touchscreen infotainment system that's standard across the models with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. So far, seems to work pretty well, but I'll let you know if we have any annoyances while we're out on the road. I do like seeing the physical climate adjustments right here, nice buttons, good physical controls on the steering wheel as well. But I think it's time to take this for a little drive and see what sort of improvements they've made. Starting off our driving impressions actually on a remarkably twisty section of road here. I've got my friend Marcos in the passenger seat, and we are experiencing a twisty canyon road here in the Outlander. Now, nobody's really expecting this 2.5-liter 4-cylinder and CVT to be sports car levels of engaging on a road like this. But it does at least give us an opportunity to experience how Mitsubishi has adjusted both the ride and the steering for the facelift of the Outlander. Apparently, they wanted to move away from a little bit of a numb and vague feeling around off-center with the steering, and it seems as though they've done a pretty good job at that. There is an immediacy right off of center to kind of encourage a turn. But if I switch this from normal into tarmac mode, that's essentially their sporty driving, and then I can let the CVT sing the song of its people, and actually use these paddle shifters on the steering wheel to hold essentially fake gears, because this is a CVT, it doesn't actually have any gears in it, but by using these paddle shifters, I can keep the revs up, try to keep us a little bit in the power band, try to use just about all of that 181 peak horsepower out of this naturally aspirated inline 4. Brake pedal seems good, decent bites, not too jumpy. Oh, it's not auto downshift, so I gotta give myself a little bit of extra power here. Yeah, there's a nice immediacy, and they went through a lot of the different aspects of their suspension tuning, the different materials, damping, etc., to both improve noise, vibration, and harshness in normal driving, but theoretically, if you live in an area like this where you do have some twists and turns, the vehicle at least feels competent out here. Now, you can get a very similar vehicle to this with the turbocharged inline 3 if you opt for the Nissan Rogue. And admittedly, I like the way that Turbo 3 drives. However, I do know that there is a vocal section of people that don't want to go with a smaller turbocharged option over something like a naturally aspirated motor like this when looking at it from the lens of reliability. And Mitsubishi has chosen to stick with this powertrain because they stand by it being more reliable, and you can sort of see that in their warranty as well. Mitsubishi's given you a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, whereas Nissan's only given you that 6-year, probably 65-year, maybe it's a 5-year, 60,000-mile warranty. It's probably what they give you. So, is the CVT going to be reliable? I don't know. All I know is that Mitsubishi wants to put a focus on reliability and dependability for their vehicles, so theoretically speaking, they have confidence in this transmission and engine combination. If we dial everything back into normal, steering gets just a little bit lighter, throttle response not quite as aggressive, but yeah, you do definitely have to get those revs up compared to something like the turbocharged option. A lot of cars these days running turbos, allowing you to get that peak torque much lower down in the rev range, but again, when you're talking about reliability, that's not always going to be the way to go. Up here on the highway in the Outlander, obviously we are in the top level model. We're going to have the most sound deadening. We've got dual pane glass, but it seems like a fairly nice place to be. There is a firmness to the ride, and it can kind of be interpreted two different ways. It does feel solid. It feels like the vehicle is really built to take the bumps with authority. But the other way to look at it is I'm getting a bit of bump filtering into the cabin. It almost just feels like we're on very inflated tires. I suppose the rebound damping is just a little stiff. But we do have adaptive cruise control with semi-autonomous driving, so you can see right now it's taking us through this corner, keeping us centered nicely in the lane. And after about 10 to 15 seconds, it'll pop up with a little red display on both the screen and the head-up display in front of me, telling me to put my hand on the wheel. Head-up display is nice. Got good resolution up there. It's telling me my speed limit, and active driving information. Liking the 12.3-inch display. Some people aren't going to appreciate how it's sort of stuck on the dash in that way, but what it means is that it gets it right up and nice in my field of view. And unlike a lot of the cars we've been testing recently that have the entire piece of glass up front, this one I can actually reach up and touch without leaning forward in my seat. A lot of the new Hyundais and the Mercedes, pretty much anything that's using one solid piece of glass, you've got to reach way forward in order to touch it. It's a bit of a cost-cutting measure there. So I appreciate that this one a little bit closer. And because we do have these physical controls, it's easy to deal with those. Cruising at 70 miles per hour, the CVT is keeping us just under 2,000 RPM. We've got blind spot monitoring. And that reminds me that there are a lot of safety features that Mitsubishi has added as standard, even in the ES model for the Outlander. So for about $30,000, you're getting, I don't have the list in front of me, but things that you're going to want to have, like rear cross traffic alert and automatic emergency braking, and a lot of telematics for up to 5 years as a trial period now. So this is definitely the type of vehicle that you're going to get and plan on owning for a long time, because you get the 5 years of the phone app and you get the 10-year warranty, and it should provide you a lot of use for a long time. We were talking earlier though, and I know I mentioned this a little bit at the beginning of the video, but I'd like to see a more constructive use of the space in the center console. It's just a lot of dead space, and if they had been a little bit more creative with how everything was laid out in the cabin, then we'd be able to be getting a little bit, maybe some extra places to put phones, drinks, water bottles, books, sunglasses. I mean, if you're using this as a family vehicle, then you're going to have a lot of stuff. That's just the nature of taking trips and driving daily with multiple people in the car. Many people have things. So as more of a family sort of vehicle, I'd like to see more constructive use of space in here. But we do have a sunglasses holder, something we're not seeing in a lot of vehicles these days. So it does have that going for it. Nice digital gauges in front of us too. It's telling me my speed in both digital and analog readout. So between the head-up display, digital speed in front of me, very easy to read the instrumentation. And I will say, going over some of these more kind of pavement heaves, the car feels composed. The steering is light and easy, but decently precise as well. Yeah, overall satisfying. Alright, out here on some more city-type streets, I do feel the ride quality is these really rough roads. Mitsubishi does seem to have done a good job at helping things like that not rocket through the cabin too dramatically. And again, for this price of vehicle, that secondary ride is really improved, where we're kind of feeling, okay, the car isn't being jostled and thrown around as dramatically on rough roads like this. So we only had a few hours behind the wheel of the vehicle. It's not all of a sudden this amazing sort of transformative car in this class. I mean, we're still dealing with just a fairly ho-hum powertrain, that CVT transmission and everything. But what is clear is that if you're going out and you're going to buy yourself a Mitsubishi Outlander, especially one of these higher trim models, you are buying the sound system. I am not exaggerating when I say that Mitsubishi and Yamaha did not hold back in creating a very, very impressive sound system, especially for this class of vehicle. It's competing with cars at 2 or 3 times its price point, and at many, many higher speaker counts as well. We've seen a lot of branded car audio come across the new car landscape over the last 5 or 10 years. We've seen Macintosh, Sonosfaber, Klipsch, a lot of these different kind of household brand names that have been putting themselves in automotive. I have not experienced somebody go as dedicated to the system as Yamaha has with this Mitsubishi system. It really is impressive. So, at least with my limited time in the vehicle so far, essentially you're getting a competitive mid-sized compact crossover here with a sound system that should be in a high-end luxury vehicle. So if that is something that's important to you, if you listen to music, whether you listen to quieter, calmer music regularly and you just appreciate very well replicated instrumentation, or you're somebody who likes to really crank your music and get very impressive bass, anything there, you're going to be very satisfied with this, and much more satisfied than any other car in the class. If you're somebody who doesn't really care about car audio that much, I mean, the Outlander is fine. It's good enough compared to a lot of other vehicles. There are more efficient cars in this class, there are more powerful cars in this class, there are more comfortable cars in this class, and cars that'll give you different technology. But if you want a car that's got a good warranty, a lot of usability, and a fantastic sound system, this is where you have to go. The only other one that comes even remotely close in this class is Mazda CX-5, and that's much smaller and got other pros and cons of its own. So thank you all so much for watching. Once we do get the Outlander back at DMHQ, we'll give it a full week impression. We'll do our fuel economy testing, everything like that. But if you do want to see our dedicated breakdown on the sound system, check the link below, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.